Good evening and tonight, viewers. It's Shrinapalooza, Part 3. Here on Breath of the Wild. Last time, we did shrines. Today, we're doing shrines. There we are. Dual wield. I also bought the cold weather gear. Snow quill headdress and snow quill trousers. Because I'm going to be attempting this mountain, and the mountain is cold. You will only ever need 2 layers of any kind of weather protection. I also bought up a bunch of shock and ice arrows so I can show off my alpha strategy. That's fun. We have fun. Be nice if I could get something I could sell. I mean, I guess I can sell rock salt, but not for much. Okay, I think I'm going to warp back to Dahamar. And then I'm going to approach from another side, because this is probably the worst way to climb Dueling Peaks. If you approach it from the back, then it's kind of... I mean, it's not like... It ain't like a gentle incline, but it's far easier to climb that way. But yes, once you get up there, really high up on the mountain, it'll get cold. That's why I have the cold weather gear. Mountain's also not a bad place to hunt for gems. Yes, as you can see, as opposed to a sheer face, much more climber friendly. Yeah, you can just take these little areas that are less steep and walk across them to recover a little bit of stamina. I also cooked up a bunch of stamina chow, just in case I need it. The Dueling Peaks has generally enough flat land to where I should be able to make it. Anyway, the first one that I want is up top here. I think. Yes. Excellent. Made it with just a sliver to spare. Yes, obviously you can increase your stamina later on. I have been foregoing it as I wish to get the Master Sword as early as possible. If you have a lot of stamina, this is going to be easier. If you have your base stamina wheel, just do what I do. And look for a more favorable cliff face. I like that. Also, if you got like one sliver of stamina left and you're almost there, press X. You just might make it. Or you just might not and fall and lose some hearts, but hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Alright. This is actually going to be... There we are. Just flat enough. You can also tell what's kind of flat based on how Link climbs. If he climbs pretty fast, it's probably going to be flat enough for you to walk on. At least for a bit. Yeah, just kind of stick to the crevices. Obviously, if it's truly sheer, don't let go. That's fine. I can use that time to regain a little stamina. And once I get to where these trees are on the mini-map, then I'm going to have another flat surface upon which I can rest. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna... Shouldn't need a lot of stamina chow for this one. Because I'm almost there. Yeah. I figured that would be flat enough for me to walk on for a bit. Oh, look at this. Yeah, once you get up... There's a shrine at the top of that one. Once you get up here, it's actually pretty forgiving. And I think if I took off... Okay, so it's not quite there yet. Definitely a Korok thing. Huh.
Got some visible breath.
Yeah, I think now. Well, it might be higher up. Okay, so it's basically at the top of this one. Yeah, it's definitely a Korok. There we are. It's gonna be Shivanir or Shivanath. I can never remember which one. Okay, so the two shrines atop the peaks have a very specific gimmick. They are basically mirror images of each other. So, let me just... Okay, so basically, what I would need to do is take a snapshot of this, and then make the other peaks one look like this one did, and vice versa. Or, I can just... What is this, Shivanath? Yes. Or I can just Google it, because I'm a busy man. Come on. Alright. Alright. So I believe this goes in here. This goes in here. This one goes over here. Goes over there. And this one goes over here. Yes. I was right. Also, I think the treasure is up here, maybe. This is the... You're supposed to come up here to kind of tell... Like, this is how you're supposed to be able to see the whole thing and take your snapshot of it. But I don't have time for that. And I've got the other one ready to go. I could have taken, well, I could have taken a photo of the original layout and used that for the other, but nah. Alright. Go over here. I think now in this area it is going to be somewhat cold. Oh well, maybe up top. Ooh, topaz. This is a rare ore deposit. Definitely want to snag one of those. Ruby. Excellent. Ooh, there's another ore deposit. Okay, I'm getting some rare gems. Sell those for money. Alright, I think I can just kind of like walk up this one. Yes, this is definitely one of the higher points of Hyrule. I don't think it's the highest. I think Mount Hebra is probably the highest. Okay, now that you hear that little sting, and that the music has changed a bit, now we are indubitably... Well, we were. Might just be at the very tippity top. I just want to show off. Oh, of course, he was wearing one layer of warm gear. That's why it never showed up. Yes. You will... the most you will need is 2 layers of cold gear. There is not any place on the map where you need all 3 layers. So you can keep on your... you can keep on your champion's tunic, which is what I do. And I know there's a Korok thing up here. What is our... apple? So many of the things. Here we are, She Veneer. She Veneer. Okay, I'm gonna whip out my cell phone again. Gonna use the table. The Twin Memories shrines don't have any treasures. No. Excellent. Yeah, they're kind of mirror images of one another. Okay. And there's one more shrine at which we can get. It's a little further down. First, let me avail myself of these wonderful... Ooh, a ruby. There it is. This is Rita He. Timing is critical. That was a mistake. Oh well, it still took it. Whew! That could have ended badly. It just barely stayed on. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This one's pretty easy. I mean, you at least understand the philosophy. There we are. Oh, okay. I know what to do here. Grab one of these. No. Gonna magnese this on up. I definitely want what's in that. Definitely want what's in that there chest there. And there, we can weigh it down with that barrel, and now it will eternally be askew. Which means I can easily get to this chest. And I want what is in there. You don't do a lot of climbing in this game, or at least, like, not plot mandatory climbing. But hey, having climbing made easier is much better. Makes life much easier on you. Okay, so I think I'm getting a little tired of Shrinapalooza, and I get the feeling y'all are as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show off a major test of strength. And I know where one of them is. And I am going to basically show you my strat for that. At which point I will just knock out the other tests of strength off screen, which should leave me with enough spirit orbs to get the Master Sword. So I can go to... Hot now, here. I know it's... you can see it from here. That's also a major test of strength, I think, but I want this one. If I gotta do a bunch of cryonists, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of cryonists. Maybe if I had a full stamina wheel, I could paraglide all the way out there. I don't, so I can't. Alright. I don't think Stalas can get in the water. So that helps. And yeah, you see that island over there? I once cryonist all the way over there. Because I didn't know about rafts. Thankfully, building a boat is made much easier in the sequel. That said, you should still not buy a boat. Don't buy a boat! Huh? There we are. Hold on, this is a... Nope. I need the raft for that. There's a Korok leaf, of course. Well... I don't need 2 guardian swords. There we are. There, now I can use boats. Alright, so... The alpha strategy is simple. First off, don't use a triple shot bow for this. Have an ice weapon and an electric weapon at the ready. So if I had a thunder weapon, I would use ice arrows. This is a major test of strength. This guy's gonna have 3,000 HP. He's not gonna play nice. Oh yeah, it doesn't have a shield either, which is good. And he's stun locked now. Yeah, if you do a triple shot with the ice arrow, it tends to hit him... Basically, if you hit a frozen enemy, it'll deal double damage. So, it tends to freeze and then immediately hit again, throwing him out of ice, which we don't want. But yes, this will effectively stun lock him. I'm not going to claim to have invented this, but I did come up with this without reading anything. So, you know, someone else somewhere might be using it. And if so, good on you. I'm not gonna trademark it or anything. Okay, the weapons that he dropped are really good, so... Let's see, what kind of crap can I get rid of? There. Okay. And that is how you cheese the hell out of those robots. If you want a good source of elemental weapons, the Colosseum in Central Hyrule has them. There is a Lionel in there, so be careful. Be very careful. I would recommend approaching from the top. And basically grabbing... wait. There might be a Lionel in the sequel, I don't remember.
No, there's a Lionel.
Okay, yes. Yeah, there's a Lionel in there, so I would recommend approaching from the top. But yeah, each floor has enemies with... One of them they have the fire weapons, one of them they have the ice weapons, one of them they have the thunder weapons. I'd recommend getting a couple of those. Going to Gerudo Town, getting some elemental arrows. Basically, once you have fewer elemental arrows than the maximum they would sell, you can buy that amount. So they sell 30 at a time. You could have up to 59. There's going to be a better source for elemental arrows that'll sell more to you, but that's a little further down the line. But anyway, I'm going to go tackle those strength test shrines and report back to you with a bunch of spirit orbs. This has been Three Roads Gaming. Sure, I'm glad the road brought you here. Hope it brings you back my way again soon. Have a good one, everybody.